EB2 NIW, national interest. I don't know how to term this. Creme de la creme, the easiest or the lowest hanging fruit, as some people term to call it. I don't want to get into all the marketing terms for this particular route, but it seems to be, and it has been in the past couple of years, the most popular way of getting a green card. So let's talk about how one comes here with the E2 visa and has the business is doing good, provided that the business has a certain angle for national interest. It could be a franchise operating in a healthcare industry, finance industry, education, tutoring, junk removal, you name it. Would I be able to make a good national importance argument and potentially seek EB2 NIW?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely, you can. But I think what you said at the beginning is really important. It depends on what you're doing here and if you're going to rely on what you have been working on as a business here in the United States as a basis to apply for the EB2 NIW. So if you're doing an industry that is of importance, you're very heavy on artificial intelligence, you do some sort of applications or technology related to topics of interest in national security, right? Biotechnology, critical infrastructure, stuff like that, then yeah, absolutely. That could be a very well positioned place to be in order to jump onto an EB2 NIW, right?
Hey, you want to come to the US, get the E2 visa, L1, or straight out a green card? We've been doing this for the past 10 years, and we wrote a book. It's called Own Your American Dream. What is special about this book is that we went back and have spoken to 21 successful applicants who opened up their businesses here and who are continuing to live the American dream. Hear it from them, because they talk about their fears, their mental state, what went wrong, what went right. The entire blueprint is there. You could just buy the book right here. You can just read it and make up your mind. Continue your video.
I think it'll be harder to make an argument, right, if you do just not to minimize any sort of business or franchise. But I think it'll be harder
A
to,
burger joint would be harder. Is
yeah,
that what you're saying?
exactly, to say, look, I opened up a burger joint and
An
then
ice
now,
cream shop.
yeah, and then I'm going to now be of national importance. That's going to be a tough one to make.
Why?
But
I provide people fresh, refreshing ice creams at the heat.
let me tell you
People
something.
the
If
heat
I was
here in
an
Miami.
immigration officer, I would approve that visa immediately. So, but I'll
Okay.
probably get fired later on. But yes. So we have to focus on the reality. That's why it's called a national interest waiver. So they're waiving a very detailed and sort of long process, which is a labor certification process. So they're waiving that entire obstacle, that entire process, because you're doing something that's really good for the country. So tell me, what is it that you're doing that's really good for the country? So I think that depending on the business that you're doing, and we see a lot of businesses now, especially with people who are starting their own businesses, they are focusing on, tech oriented, AI oriented, right? Sort of infrastructure and a lot of topics that relate to national security, right? Also education, all sorts of topics that are national interest. And it's certainly viable, for sure it is.
Okay, cool. EB2 NIW, recently it has been subject to certain changes, and everybody's thinking, oh, is it getting harder? Are they raising the bar? How shall we qualify for the EB2 NIW now? Is it imperative to own a business that is active here in the US, or can I just go there and apply with my advanced degree and without a business or a business plan, but just, showing and proving to the USCIS who I am and what I have achieved and how I plan to contribute to the United States of America?
Yeah, I think that what you mentioned earlier was a very good point to bring up. It's been, low hanging fruit and creme de la creme, very, very well marketed visa. And I think that he got a little bit of abuse, and some people were slipping through the cracks of this visa, right? And USCIS sort of said, okay, guys, we can't have, there's a purpose to this visa. We can't have people that really, even though they might be good at what they do, aren't really fitting what the purpose of this visa is. So it's not like they made it harder; they just clarified it a little bit more, right?
Okay.
And to answer your question, yes, the days of seeing potentially an approval without having a very well set plan as to what your proposed endeavor is, I think are gone. That I think it's a must. Before it was a must, for me for sure, but it's certainly a must now. And now they're just sort of raising a little bit of the bar relating to, well, what are you going to be doing here? Can you tell me what your plan is? Like you can't just simply say I'm really good at all these different things, but what's your plan though?
I
How are
have a
you going to
master's
accomplish
degree and
it?
a good heart.
Yeah, exactly. So you have
Does
to
that
really
not
have a
count?
plan. Yeah,
Correct.
exactly. And by the way, just to make the clarification, it doesn't really only have to be you starting a business or something, or like a consulting firm or something like that, right? You can make a very well thought out, with the help of experts, of course, professional plan that details how your track record in your country or other countries where you worked and you have excelled in what you do, right, can position yourself to get a job at, pretty big company here or even the government, right? In a department that needs the help and it's of national interest. So it's not only business related. I want to open my own business, my own consulting. No, it's also my professional plan. How I can help, the government, how I can help companies in the United States be better. So just want to make that clarification so people don't think, oh, I have to 100% have sort of my own business and that's the only way that I can go through this.